Boy, do I have a story for you. Now, this is a Texas ranch wedding story where we all wear cowboy boots, even the bride and all the bridesmaids, which is great because then you don't have to worry about your heels sinking into the dirt or anything like that. And it was at this rustic ranch out in the middle of nowhere in Middle Texas. It was my college roommate's wedding. So I got to be a bridesmaid, which was fun. It was my first time being a bridesmaid, so I hadn't been in a wedding since I was like 6 and was the girl holding the little basket and throwing the flowers out. So I drove into town for the wedding, stayed for a couple of weeks, and about a week before the wedding, I had lunch with the bride. We were just talking, catching up. How have you been? Oh, I've been great. What have you been up to? Oh, just wedding stuff. What about you? Oh, just hanging out. And she told me who my fellow groomsman was. And she looks at me and she's like, "So, you are going to walk down the aisle with Sebastian." And Sebastian he's someone that I had known for a couple years. He is very close to the groom. And every so often, the groom would just surprise us and say, "Hey, Sebastian's here." And we're like, "Yeah, hi, Sebastian." And we just all have a fun time together, the four of us, in my little college apartment. Sebastian was my date to the wedding. Oh, and another thing I should mention, he's a cat. The cat was my date. It was glorious. I got a couple glamour shots with my date, who was by far the most handsome of all the groomsmen. Of course, he's a cat. He even had a little bow tie that matched. It was so cute. For the ceremony, of course, I'm the first one to go down. The very first bridesmaid. So I'm walking down holding the cat in my hands, and everyone in the seats, they kind of just look at me at first. They're like, "What's going on? Is that a cat?" And then, everyone's like, "Ha ha ha, that's a cat! That's a cat!" You know how it goes. There's that initial shock, and then everyone bursts into laughter because they realize it's a joke. Not many can say that they walk down the aisle with a cat. That's a new one. Yeah, so that's my story about when I walked down the aisle with a cat.